Good morning, everyone. We have another episode of New York Times Sudoku. It is Monday, the 10th of August, 2020. And I think we've got a bit of a doozy today because I've actually tried to solve this last night before bed and failed at doing so. And it's a tough puzzle today, but let's have another go at solving this morning. So let's jump right in. These 3 ones gives me a 1 up here. I've got another pair of 1s here, and it looks like 1 has exhausted already. So let's have a look. 2s. So I actually did my homework for this puzzle because let's see, so this 2 and that 2 locks the 2s into these 2 cells, which gives us a pointed pair, leading us to another 2. So what I mean by homework is I've gone ahead and figured out the solution and reverse engineered the pattern. Essentially I cheated to figure out the solution, and not particularly proud of it, but it's let's see, 4 4, so 4 2s are there as well. But basically sometimes when you get stuck, rather than just focusing on solving the puzzle, 5's looking pretty weak. I've only got 1 5s, so let's bear that in mind. I like to focus on understanding how I could have solved it. So and even with auto candidate, it's not easy to find the solution for this puzzle, because it basically involves a hidden pair, but it's seriously hidden, and got a pair of 8s there, so 8 and 5 are the weak numbers. They both only have 1 each. That's not something I spotted yesterday, so I wonder. I ended up feeling quite tired by the time, excuses again, but basically, I was drifting off a little bit towards the end, and I don't know if it affected my performance as well. So I've just done a round of 1 to 9, and as usual I would do another round, basically looking for whether the changes on the board with the 9s that I've just populated, whether it actually unlocks any new values. And the good thing is, by sleeping, I have actually forgotten. Here we go. So that's a 3-8 pair, which leads to a 5. So 5 is no longer a weak number. In fact, this 5 locks a 5 as a triple down here, which means 5 has to be over here, which locks a pair of 5s over there. And I don't see anything else, so let's go back to 3s. Where was I? Can't remember now. So I think I was talking about just being tired last night, and hence it was another excuse for me to fail my solve. Just gone through 4s. I can't see anything. Oh, actually, that pair of 4s there, because I've got a pointed pair of 4s and a 4 there, and I think that's everything I can do. So 5 is no longer a weak number, but it's not particularly strong either. 6, 7. Can't see any 7s. 8. 8 is still a weak number. 9. So, I think I vaguely remember thinking that 5 is a weak number, and it's not what I figured last night. So I wonder if I think I was talking about whether I might have missed something from it, but as you can see, 5 is no longer a weak number after the first round. Therefore, I don't think I actually missed anything, any naked digits last night. 4. So I have just gone through 1 to 4 again because the last numbers that I've put in was a 4. So I only need to go around from 1 to 4, and I think I've exhausted myself with candidates. So the next task is to use the weak number, which is 8, to see if I can find any naked digits. I don't really think I found any last night, but let's have another go. 8. So I've got a triple here, which are 3, 9, and 6. So I've got no 3, 9, or 6 on. I've got 9 there, so that's a 3, 6. I've got a 3 here, no 6, so that's a 6, 9. And I've got no 3, 6, or 9, so that's a 3, 6, 9. So that gives us a 3, 9, 6 pair. So why don't we pencil mark in this time, because I think it will prove useful in a little bit. So these 3 cells are now locked. Although actually, no, I'm going to take it back because I just realised the solution doesn't involve this at all. So what about over here on this row? We are missing 1, 3, 5, and 6. 1, 3, 5, and 6. So I think, let's see, 1, 3, 5, and 6. Yeah, so I've got 1, 3, and 5 there, which means that has to be a 6. So does that generate anything at all? So 5 is still locked. 3s, nope. So that 6 doesn't actually interact with any of these numbers meaningfully, nor these numbers. So I've not unlocked anything else. So let's move on to the rest of the rows. I'm left with 1, 5, and 3. I've got none of those digits here. I've got a 1 here. I've got 1 and 5. So that means that's a 3, 5 pair, and this is 1, 3, and 5. So again, it doesn't actually offer us anything. So I think I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to the hidden pair. And I feel a bit gutted I didn't spot it, because I was quite close to spotting it. I was basically looking for the strong numbers. And I think I decided that 9 was a strong number, and I think the other strong number I determined was 1. I think I was focusing on 9s and 1s. So this is what I did initially. I was basically looking at primarily these 3 squares, these boxes in the middle. Actually, I don't think it's 9s and 1s that I was focusing on in that case. It may be 7s and 1s. Yeah, I was focusing on 7s and 1s. I'm basically looking for 2 numbers that have a relationship outside of particular areas, basically. And since these top boxes are quite populated, and the bottom ones are quite populated as well, there are not many 7s and 1s. There's only a 7 in this box. And thinking that, I think I did start with 1 and 9, and I couldn't get anywhere. In fact, I think the fact that there are 9s in these boxes means there's no way I've got 1, 9 pair within the center 3 boxes. And then I started focusing on the 1s and 7s, noticing that basically these 2 1s and 7, these 2 1s and 7s, and these 2 1s and 7s, they basically block certain cells in these rows, basically. So there's no way 1 and 7 can be there. There's no way 1 and 7 can be there. And there's no way 1 and 7 can be in these cells. And I was trying to find a 1-7 pair, basically. And I determined that 1 and 7, these 2s can be 1s and 7s, but they're still 7 and they're still 1s in the remaining cells. So I couldn't actually narrow them down to a 1-7 pair. And I think due to tidiness, I ended up giving up, and I didn't explore other numbers. And when I eventually turned on the auto candidates, and after much digging, found the hidden pairs, I ended up kicking myself for not spotting the glaringly obvious, once you know, kind of pattern there. The relationship wasn't to do with 1 and 7; it's actually to do with 4s and 2s. Because if we look, we've got 4s and 2s up here, but actually we've got 2 and 4 in these cells. I've got 4 and 2 in these two, in this box, which already locks these 3 cells from a 4 and 2. And if we look across, I don't have any 4s and 2s here, but I've only got 1 cell here. So I guess I shouldn't really kick myself too much, but I was actually focusing on this particular row because it stretches across the entire board, and also it doesn't see the 4s and the 2s. But essentially, these 3 cells cannot contain the 4 and 2. This cell doesn't contain a 4 and 2. This cell doesn't contain a 4 and 2. Sorry, just had to blow my nose there. And this cell already sees a 4 and 2 pencil mark, so we know that this can be a 4 and 2. But essentially, I've already got myself a 4-2 pair in here. And I'm hoping that in the future I will spot these kind of patterns more successfully, but at the moment it's still kind of like trial and error for me to spot them. So with the 4 and 2 pair spotted, I now need to determine whether there's anything, there's a solvable solution now, and let's move on from there, basically. So I'm basically locking these 2 cells, so I need to find possibly a naked single in these cells. So can we get anywhere with that? So I know 1s can go in these 3 cells. 1, 2. I've already got 2s, so 3s. 3 is still really weak. So that's going to be a problem because I'm not confident this is actually helpful now because of how weak the 3 is and the 8. So I've already got 3-8 pair in most of these cells. I guess the important thing is what's in this cell, which is 3, 6. 3 and 6. Oh god, I don't think I can actually solve this yet. Let me go around the board again to see if I can get anything from the new information that these 2 cells are locked. So 1s, 2s. 2s are not helpful because I've got a 2 in these 2 cells. So 3s. 3s over here. 3 and 8. I think I'll try using 3 and 8 to find a weak number, but they don't really interact with 8 in a meaningful way. So 3s, 4s. 4. I'm focused on 4-2 pairs, so I should ignore the 4s. What about the 5s? Nope, nothing on 5s. So yeah, so I guess today's puzzle is just quite mean. It's just quite tough in general. So maybe what I should do is actually see, I think the way that 4 and 2 interacts, I should focus on these cells and pencil mark in all the possibilities for now. 5, 6. 6 can't go there, so I've got 6 here. 7, 8. So I'm missing 1, 3. Oh yeah, so 1s are there and there. So it's 1, 3, 6 and 8. No, it's not going to give me anything, is it? Damn. So hang on a sec. What about down this row? No, I'm just not getting it. So I think I'm just going to have to pretty much pencil mark in everything with auto candidates, with the knowledge that this is a 4-2 pair, and this is a 4-2 pair, and flicker around to clean up any remaining pencil marks that I may have with the pointed pairs. Yeah, this is quite demoralizing because that's 2 puzzles within the space of 7 days that I haven't been able to solve. And I'm not convinced that the difficulties have gone up. I just think... oh, hang on, I didn't do 7s, did I? Yeah, I'm missing 7, so it's 1, 3, 6, 8 and 7. So 7s have to go in these cells. It still doesn't give me any patterns, does it? Although 7 can't go there, yeah. So 3, 6, 7. So 7 have to be in these 2 cells on this row. Ah, okay. So we've got 7s locked in these 2 cells actually. So that means 7s are here. Does that do anything for us? So the potential is that maybe I've got something in here. Actually, I've got triple here. So this is 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 4. I've got 4 there, I've got 2 there, so not useful. So that's 8, 4, 8, 2 and 2, 8 and 4. What about these cells? 2, 3, 4. So 5, 6, 7. So this is a 1 and 8. What about this? Oh, that's got 3 in there, so that's not useful at all. So let me just continue on looking around the board to see if I can clean up any more pencil markings. But I do apologise for just going around in circles in this puzzle, so I'm probably just confusing things a bit. But anyway, I'm going to leave it to auto candidate mode now because I can't see any more pencil markings. I can't see any pointed pairs and whatnot now, so I think the focus should be these 2 columns because we found the hidden pairs there. So 4 and 2. So is there another 4 and 2 in these? I've got 1, 4 and 8, but 6 is a pair there. I can't see anything obvious over there. So what about here? No. 3, 5, 8. So I wonder if there's another hidden pair somewhere on this board that I'm missing. Let's go around the board a little bit, just have a quick glance. The problem, as I said to myself last night, since I've not posted the video, is that it's quite difficult when you have a weak number that it's only in one. You've only got one single instance of. If you've got one weak number, then that means that weak number appears as pencil marking all over the board, and it basically clutters your entire board with pencil marking. And that's why is typically not very useful. To kind of like focus on pencil markings, because if you start with all the pencil markings, then you're just going to fill your entire board with numbers. Hang on, have we got something down here? No, 4, 5, 7. I thought I've got 3, 4, 5, 7 quadruple there, but I don't. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. No, I'm not seeing anything at all. So I may have to give this up yet again and come back to this later. I'm sure I'm missing something. I've never come across a New York Times puzzle that's this hard, because every time I do, I eventually find out that I've just missed something glaringly obvious in terms of when you get down to the pairs and the triples. So I think I'm just going to go around the board again. Okay, so this can't be a 3 because I've got 3, 8 pair. In fact, these are 4s and 2s as well, which means that can't be a 4. So, hang on, let's focus on this column for a sec. Have I unlocked anything? Have I got 3, 8, 3, 5, 8 pair? No, I haven't. That's disappointing. I've still got loads of 7s. So, let's continue with the 3s. 3s, 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 4s. I may need to eat some breakfast whilst I'm doing this. Probably end up turning this into an ASMR channel. Breakfast cereal chewing, not even cereal, what is this? Muesli chewing ASMR. I'm not seeing any 6s, so 7s. I'm glad I don't have a webcam on because I just covered my mouth from the mic as I'm chewing, and it just feels a little bit silly. I'm really sorry for the lack of professionalism with my Sudoku solves. Maybe that could be my unique selling point on the internet. I'm just not seeing anything anymore, so I do feel like I have to give up on this puzzle, but I'm convinced that there's something in one of these 3 columns. The fact that I've cleaned up some pencil markings here. Is there something hidden in here? I've got 3 6s, 3 3s, 3 7s, and hang on, I've got 3 8s, 4 3s. Nope, not seeing anything. What about here? Focusing on the 4s and 2s. So I've got 4 and 2. I've got A4 there and A2 there, but that doesn't give me anything. 3 5 8. 3 5 8 and 6. 3 5 8 and 6. They exist in 4 5 separate squares cells, so that's no use. 2 4 7 8. 2 4 7 8. 2 4. But 4s are in loads of other places as well, so that's no good. What about the 8s? I have a strong feeling that I'm focusing my attention too much on the wrong thing, basically. Hold on, have I got 3, 8, 3, 6 pairs there? I have, haven't I? These are 3s and 6s. Yeah, so 3 doesn't exist anywhere else except for these 2 cells. Nor does 6, so that's a 3, 6 pair. So 1, 2, and 8. 1, 4, 7, and 8. So that's a 3, 6 pair. And nowhere else. What have I got left? 2, 4, 7, 8. So now I'm left with a 1. Brilliant. So now that has to be a 1. So let's turn off candidates for a second. If that's a 1, it forces a 1 over here, taking out that 1. Creating a pair of 1s there. That alone doesn't give me anything, but let's see. Now if I focus on the 2s, oh, in fact, yeah, that gives me a pointed pair of 2s there. Oh no, I've already got 2s here. What am I doing? I'm being daft. So 2s go nowhere. So let's look at 3s now. 3s are in here, and in fact, if that's not a 7, and these are 3s and 6s, then that has to be a 7, which locks the 7s up there. And now we do know these are a pair of 7s, so, and a pair of 7s down here, but that doesn't do anything. So where was I? Hang on, this is a 1-5 pair. If I've got, oh, hang on, no, that takes out the 1 there, doesn't it? Uh-oh, have I messed this up actually? So what is this now? This is a 5, 5, 3. And there's a 3 up there, so that has to be a 5, and that has to be a 3. So 5 can't go there anymore. So this 3 resolves the 3 and 8. So 3 and 8, 3. So now 3 is actually locked in this cell, and 3 comes across, doesn't lock anything else. This is where it gets really dangerous, where I've pencil marked in multiple things and not pencil marking in the rest of the cells within a box. I could potentially confuse myself, but I'm just going to use more traditional means of like checking all the cells within the square to make sure that I haven't missed anything. So why don't we resolve the 4s down here, because there's a pair of 4s and 8s down here which resolve the 4 and a 7, and that 4 doesn't do anything for us right now. I don't have any other clues, so I've got 1, 4 and 8 here, so it's 8 and 4. So that, if that's 4 and 8 as well, then, and I've got 4 and 8s down here, then 1 has to go here, and with that we've got ourselves the 1s all pencil marked in. So this is 4 and 8, but have I got any other candidates? No. Let's move on a little bit. I've got a pair down here, so these are 9s and 6s, which means no, whatever's not here, which is a 5, has to go in. I've got a 5 there as well, so that has to be a 5, leaving me a pair of 5s over there. Can't resolve the 5s just yet. So 4, 8, 6, 9. So what have I got here? 6, 9, and 8. I don't have 6 and 9s. So what about over here? I've got 6, 9, 8, and 5. I can't see any 5s either, so let's move on. I've done 1s. 2s are not fruitful yet. 3s. So 3s are here. 3, 3, 3. So I've got a pair of 3s. 3, 3. 3s are now locked in these 2 cells. And nowhere else. So 4s. 4s. 4, 4, 4. 5. So I know 5s can't go in these cells. Oh, actually, yeah, I've already locked the 5s. So 5 is still feeling quite weak at the moment. As am myself, because feeling a bit hungry. 6 is here. So it resolves the 8, 1 and 7 on this row. And that resolves the 1 and finally gives me a... what's missing? 8. An 8 there. So I've got 3, 6 pair there. So 8 has to go here. That means there has to be 4, 2. I've already got 4 in the row. So 4 and 2 are resolved. And it pushes another 4 up there. 4 and 8 are resolved down here. So now I've got 8 over here, and that should be an 8 as well. And it locks the 8 up there, giving me a 6, 8 pair. So that has to be a 7, and that's a 7. So it looks like it was spotting both the 4, 2 pairs and the 3, 6 pairs that resolves this puzzle. So at some point I'm going to have to go back and see if there's any way I can actually identify the 3, 6 pair. But I'm somewhat skeptical considering how weak 3 is. But maybe if I focus on this column, actually looking at it, yeah, the column is quite barren from the starting grid. So I'm not convinced that I'll really be able to solve that. So maybe today is just one of those days where the puzzles are just so hard that you just have to do it by pencil marking in everything. Oops. So what's this then? This has to be... these are off... oh, hold on, no. So what's missing here? I'm missing a 6. I'm hoping that I haven't made a mistake. Oh no, that's not a 6. This is a 3, 3, 5 pair, so that's 5. And that's 3. Locking 3 down there. 8 and 9. So 6 is here, leaving me with a 5. And that's a 6 and 9 resolvable. Oh my days. So that's today's Sudoku. Yeah, 2 hidden pairs. Yeah, I need to look back and see if there are any tricks to finding the 3 and 6. So I may have a look at that later over lunch. But if not, I can't possibly say that today's solve has been useful at all. But I think it's another demonstration of using auto candidate modes just to kind of alleviate the hardest part of the puzzle. Which, to be honest, you will get to the same solution by just pencil marking in everything. But I'm just kind of wishing there's an option to just pencil mark in everything rather than calling it auto candidate mode, where you turn off the ability for pencil markings to be automatically removed, which the New York Times auto candidate mode does. Because if we can remove that one feature, then I think it will still be a fair enough solve. You just basically, in terms of, what is it called in games? Life improvement? No. There's a terminology for it, for like kind of making life easier without quality of life. That's it, quality of life improvement. Without actually kind of like making the solve too easy. I feel I'm just waffling on today, as I do most days, and I hope you enjoy the muesli ASMR during the video as well. And I don't know if I'm going to do another kind of snippet afterwards, so I'm going to do the outro now. Please do subscribe or comment or whatever YouTube interactions you wish to make if you want to see more videos. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. And we're back. Hello again. So this is after work now on the same puzzle, because I'm going to insert this at the end of the video. So I kind of went back to the puzzle at the point of where I needed auto candidates, and I just revisited a little bit just to see if there are any ways I could have resolved the other pairs. and as it turns out, it is very much possible. So I went back to the board and to the grid and just repopulated all the candidates that I had, and I'm at a point where I've just put in the 2s and the 4s. So one thing I failed to do successfully was I didn't actually go around the grid carefully enough. Basically, I actually missed the 3 and 6 pair, which would have been resolved at this point. So bearing in mind the 2s and the 4s are locked as a pair, they are now no longer in play as far as looking for candidates are concerned. I'm not going to play with the 2s and the 4s because if I'm looking for pencil markings for 2s and 4s right now, they will just serve to confuse me, basically, because I don't have any pointed pairs, and basically if I had the pencil markings for the 2s and the 4s, I would have already put them in, basically, but the fact that I didn't means this kind of 2-4 pencil marking here is kind of temporary. And but anyway, without too much waffling on again, my usual trait, let's just go through the pencil markings again from 1 to 9. So starting with 1, we still have 3 candidates here. We've got 4 candidates, 3 candidates, and 4 candidates here. So nothing with 1s. We're going to skip 2 and move on to 3s. So 3s, there's nothing up there. But when we look down here, these 2 3s interact, and this is where I missed the fact that I've got a pair of 3s here, because this 4 and 2 is actually a locked cell. This is where web apps like Sudoku Exchange really comes into play, because when you have center markings, it's obvious that that cell isn't in play anymore. And I think this morning when I got to this stage, I just failed to recognize that the 2-4 has actually locked the cells in, because I was still kind of in New York Times web app mode, and forgot that I can use that, because normally once you find the hidden pair or hidden triple, the rest of the puzzle seems to just fall into place. But today just kind of happens to involve 2 sets of hidden pairs before we can resolve the puzzle. So let's carry on a little bit more. 3s are in 3 possible locations, all locations for 3 in these 2 squares. Oops, I think I just pencil marked in 5. This is another thing I dislike about the New York Times, where you can actually accidentally pencil mark something in by just clicking at the right time on a cell. It's not a great feature. It's actually terrible UX. So 5 doesn't give me anything. I think, yeah, I've just kind of gone around. 3s are exhausted. 5s, I don't think I'm going to get anything else. 5s, I've got 3 down here. I've got them pinned onto 3s and 4 cells. 4 cells in this box and all possible cells in here. And now when we look at 6s, well, we're going to see these 2 6s interact exactly the same way as the 3 did. And I think more experienced players would have already spotted a 3-6 pair within the columns and immediately called out the 3 and 6 pair. So now we have another hidden pair. So let's just follow the logic. While that takes the 7 out and forces the 7 in here. I've got another pair of 7s here because of this 7 and these 2 7s interacting. So I've now got the remaining 7s pencil marked in as 2 sets of X-wings. So let's rewind a little bit. I was looking at 6s. So what else have I got on 6s? If I'm honest, I don't think I'm going to find any more 6s anymore. So, and I've just done 7s. So 8. I don't think I'm going to find anything on 8 either. But actually, this 3-8 pair should have already resolved this square. So am I being dumb in missing it? So this is 5 and 9. So I should have resolved at 9 already. I probably just didn't go through the grid properly and missed out some digits. So I was on 8. but I'm not confident that any 8 and 9s. I'm left with a pair of X wings, and although actually I've got another 9 over here, so yeah, I think I should have already, yeah, those should have been possible before I filled in that 7, so apologies. So yeah, now we are kind of back to square one. But now if I do the notations around the boards again, well, I've got 3 cells locked in, which means this one locks the one in here. So that resolves the 1, resolves another one here because of these 2 1s. And now I've got a pair of 1s there. These 2 locks the 1 in here as a pair. And now that is a 2. And that is a 4 because these 3 cells are locked down, so the only place for the 2 and 4 are there, and the remaining digits are 8, and I've got 2, 4 and 8 up there, I believe. Have I got an interesting triple here? Well, I've got a pair of 8s down here, and the last remaining digit is 4, which are also locked down here because of that 4, so now that has to be a 5. And that's a 4-8 pair. I'm going to leave that for a second. Take out this 4, resolve the 4 and the 7, which resolve the 7 and the 1, which resolves that 1 as well. So that's all the 1s resolved. That 5 now tells me that this is a 3. So now that 3-8 pair is resolved, leaving me another 3 down here. That should also give me something to play with in this box. I've got a pair here now which are 5s and 5 and 8, so we know with this 8 that 8 has to go up there, and that resolves the 2, 8 and 4. And with that 4 resolved, we've got another 4 and 8 over here, and anything else? So these 2 8s resolve another 8, and now it pushes the 8s up here, meaning that 7 is now resolved, which resolved this 7 as well. So this 4 tells me I've got a 4 up there, and that's where the 2 will be. So 4 and 2 are resolved, and that leaves me with a pair of 5s and 3s. Don't know where they are yet, no matter. I've got another pair here which are 5s and 6, so another pair here, 9 and 6 again, so 6 is being quite popular at the moment. Where else can I go? I've got 3, 4 and 6 here, but cannot resolve them just yet. 2, 3 and 6, not resolvable just yet, but surely, yep. This 4 sees the 4, resolves that, so this is a 2 there, and an 8, and that 8 resolves the 6-8 pair up there, meaning the 6s are down here, but the other one doesn't resolve, but we do have another 8 over here, and so I've got too many numbers here. I've got 2, 3, 5, 6 out of 3 cells, so one of them, the 2, the 2 has been resolved. So 3, 5 and 6, 3, 5 and 6, haven't got that yet, but I've got a pair here, 5s and 3, so I've got a 3 here, so that's a 5 and that's a 3, so that, that resolves the 3 and the 6, and then the 6 over here, and that leaves me with a 5, 5 and a 3, so 3 is here, 9, 6 and 6, and that's our solution to this to today's Sudoku. I'm not going to edit it so that it looks like I managed to do it in one solve, because the whole point of this is for me, well, one of the main points is for me to improve as well, so I'm going to stop saying so for the rest of this episode, and I shall do my outro, which is subscribe.